Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, y'all know Memo600 and THF Bayzoo always sending subliminals back and forth to each other, so this time is pretty much no different. Most people don't know where Mimo and Bayzoo's beef stemmed from, because we know that once upon a time Mimo was affiliated with Dirk, Bayzoo, and the whole oblock. However, things went downhill between Mimo and Dirk, and we know that Dirk is affiliated with Bayzoo, and it's more so something that was inherited because they chose their sides. It was also alleged that Bayzoo would set Mimo and his associate up to where Bayzoo allegedly robbed Mimo for a Steve Drive chain. However, Mimo stated that he himself never got robbed, but admitted that someone who he's affiliated with did. However, out of respect, he haven't revealed who it was because of course they're cool, and you don't just throw someone you're cool with under the bus just because the ops are trolling you. So ever since then, Mimo and Bayzoo have been into it with each other, although Zoo have admitted that Mimo and him was cool while he was on live. Seems like that's all out the window now though, because since then, these guys have called each other every name you could think of under the sun, and also made threats towards each other, back and forth. Me personally, I say it's always the worst when two friends fall out, because y'all know each other's business and secrets that outsiders don't know, and that information usually gets leaked whenever both parties are into it. If y'all remember, Mimo ended up calling someone zesty and accused him of doing some zesty things over there on oblock, but for now, it's all accusations. However, I do remember oblock J Hood saying similar things, so maybe it's some truth to it, maybe it's not. Right now, it's all alleged. Now, Bayzoo made an interesting post about pushing peace, and Mimo called himself responding to it. I'm not sure if Mimo thought that Bayzoo was sending a subliminal to him, and that's what made him respond, because Mimo and Ruger are said to have squashed the tension between each other. If y'all know the history between Ruger and Mimo's brothers, then you know why them squashing beef between each other is kind of a big thing. So honestly, it is dope seeing them squash their beef and their problems and whatever so the cycle doesn't continue. However, Bayzoo have a different stance when it comes to pushing peace. Now before we get into it, y'all have to keep in mind that Bayzoo could have been talking about anybody, because there's a lot of people in Chicago these days talking about pushing peace. From King Yella, FYB J-Mane, Tay Savage, and a few others. Now although some don't really uphold their word to pushing peace and can be a bit contradictory, at the end of the day, they're all pushing peace. Now let's get into the story that Bayzoo posted that made Memo600 respond, as Bayzoo would take to his IG story to say, quote, "You can't push peace if you was never with the violence." And I'm not sure who Bayzoo was talking about or if it was even directed to anyone specifically. However, I do say that I do agree with him on this one. This is the same point I've stated in many other videos when I said that pushing peace should only come from the same people that were pushing the violence. It's more meaningful. If pushing peace is for the kids, like some of these guys love to say, these kids will only gravitate to the same people they were inspired by to commit the violence in the first place. This is why guys like Lil Durk, Chief Keef, Billionaire Black, or even Bayzoo himself are individuals that the kids will listen to, because it's been well documented on social media of these guys trolling and dissing their ops, even up until this day. So it's good that certain guys are pushing peace, because at the end of the day, it's a start. But not everybody can have an effect on others when it comes to pushing peace, because the guys that are supposed to be impacted don't even respect the ones pushing the peace, right? Perfect example. That's like the New York Giants trying to tell another football team how to go to the Super Bowl. You can't do that because they don't even know how to get there. So who's going to listen to them? Y'all get what I'm saying. So when it comes to Bayzoo saying that you can't push peace if you was never with the violence, I agree with him 100%. Rest in peace to FBG Duck, because when he was alive, he's the prime example of what pushing peace was, because he did it at the height of his music career. Plus, he was someone that promoted violence in his music and was known to his ops. So him pushing peace would be an example of someone having an effect on others, because the same way he pushed violence, he also pushed peace. Rest in peace to King Von. If he was alive and he pushed peace, that's someone that will also have an effect, because he's another one that pushed violence in his music as well. So y'all see where I'm going with it. But anyway, after Bayzoo would make those comments in the story, Memo600 would respond and would have a very direct message with his response, as he would repost the story and say, quote, "I don't want to hear who ain't pushing ish. On Steve, N-words really B-words and snitches." And that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Mimo just feels like Zoo in no position to have an opinion on guys pushing peace, and stated that people are B-words and snitches. Now, honestly, I always tell y'all that these guys be walking contradictions, because the same way Mimo would say that he's pushing peace, turn around and do something like this, it just don't make sense. And I can't lie, if you're pushing peace, this isn't the way to go. However, I've seen someone on social media mention that everybody pushes peace in their own way. And I get it, because Mimo did settle things between him and J.H.E. Ruger, so I guess that was his way of pushing the peace. However, overall, if you're pushing peace, this ain't the way to go, because it's kind of confusing. You can't say put the guns down or say you don't want problems with ops or whatever, but then turn around and diss them in music or make subliminal quotes or say funny things on social media when people pretty much know what you're talking about. Now in this case, like I said, Mimo, I guess he just don't care about pushing peace. He pushes peace in his own way. And some people just don't care, right? Some people don't really care to push peace in the literal sense, and it just is what it is. You're not going to get everybody to do the same thing in the first place. This is why pushing peace to me personally would never really work, because in order for it to work, everyone has to be on the same page. And when blood is shed and people lose friends and family members or any type of loved ones, it's kind of hard to just tell them to forget about that and just move on and push peace. Especially when they had to watch the ops troll and make fun of their deceased loved ones, whether it's in interviews, songs, social media. It's one of those situations where it just is what it is, y'all, because you're not going to get everybody on the same page, because everybody feels differently when it comes to losing somebody. Sure, you got some people that could just put it behind them and say, you know what, it's for a greater cause. But then you got other people that just want to get back. They don't care, right? They just downright, I don't care. If I ever see the opportunity, I'm taking it. And it just is what it is. But anyway, Bayzoo will post another cryptic post on his story with a picture of himself and the caption saying, quote, "It get lethal behind this internet." And once again, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's no telling if this is 100% directed towards Mimo, but it did come after Mimo's post, and I haven't seen Zoo respond directly about it, so I'm pretty sure that it was a direct response. And to just touch on that, what he meant by it get lethal behind this internet, at the end of the day, the internet is a crazy place right now, because you got the quote-unquote gangsters on the internet, where some of these guys never even knew each other in real life or anything, but it's easier to connect with your ops, and aside from incriminating yourself, it's guys dissing each other. I remember back in the Twitter days when the drill culture was just coming up in like the 2011s and 10s and 2012, it was kind of strange to see guys get on there taunting their ops. It was entertaining, but it was kind of, it was rare. But these days it's so common that these guys are really just incriminating themselves while they trying to troll their ops or whatever the case may be, but it's getting out of hand. It used to be a thing where the gangsters don't get on the internet or social media, but now everybody just on social media just going crazy. So it is what it is, y'all. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this whole back and forth between Bayzoo and Mimo. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.